All right, so we have a question coming in here regarding text messaging or text game, and I'm just going to start it off so you guys can realize what's going on. The question starts with, am I doing something wrong, or do I just always have bad luck? So I'm going to stop it there because it does go on. It can be very, very frustrating to not know exactly what you're doing or exactly what's going on and always have something go wrong. So I'm gonna walk through this very carefully and guide you through the actual processes and my mindset or my thought patterns of what's happening, and also share the sub-communication of what's going on here. So it continues by saying, I'm just not getting anywhere. Here's 2 recent interactions. I just don't get it. So clearly right here, there's some misunderstanding or lack of knowledge on what's happening, what's exactly going on. From my standpoint, if you know exactly how something works, it's very easy to look at it and exactly know where you're headed with it or which direction to go. So let's start off by looking at the text message itself. It starts off with the girl opening, right? So whenever she opens at this point, what I want you to notice is that she's leading, meaning let her lead unless she's going in the wrong direction, right? So the way that I think of it is, think about you're on a lazy river, right? Starts from here, ends over here. In the ending, hopefully you want to meet up or do something together. But when it starts over here and she opens, you want to go ahead and let her carry it. As long as it's heading in the right direction towards the end, it's okay not to be the alpha or leader of the conversation. Now, if you're floating along, she's leading you okay, and over here, she takes a right turn or she starts heading down some type of path of my family is like this, my dog died, and all these sad things that's not taking you along to the right direction, that's where I would jump in. I would acknowledge what she stated, change the topic, and put yourself back on course to heading in the right direction. Okay, so with that said, already right from the beginning, I want you to notice and acknowledge that she's opening. Now, it starts off by saying, hey, papi, meaning Spanish, pretty cool. And what we're looking at here now is an answer of hey, mommy, right? Which is good. You're playing along, same shit, no real investment yet, the same amount as she did, which gives you back a answer of hey papi, ¿cómo estás? So right now you can tell she's ready to talk to you. She has given you ample time to start a conversation yourself, but because she was leading to begin with, she went ahead and took that first step. So right here you can tell there's a little bit of interest. Now, whether she wants to fuck you or the options that she has are creepy old dudes or terrible options and you're the only one, it really doesn't matter right now, because at this point you don't know enough about her. So at this point, all you need to know is that she's interested enough to open you twice now. So what I want to stop at and look at this point is to notice the times and the days that this is happening. So from this, I can tell you, just by looking at this, I can tell you that it's not a text message. It is a application that's happening. So when people are on these apps, they do not want to keep jumping on these apps, right? So it's better to move it on to something that's more socially acceptable, right? So you can't be at work and be on Tinder. You can't be on public and be on Tinder because people are going to judge you. Even though we've had these things for years now and everyone wants them, right? There's a social, it's just a stigma that comes with it from society that kind of hurts. So looking at the time here, what's happening is Thursday at 2 p.m. she messaged, guessing there was some type of break at work or she had the time, and you didn't message till 7. So we're both, no one's at fault here. Maybe she had her free time, that's when she checked it. You had yours later on at night, long day at work, fully focused at work. That is amazing. But then you didn't message till 7:47, right? So at that point, basically she is waiting until Friday at 2 p.m. So there's a thing with 2 p.m. here. if you notice that she's going off of this 2 p.m. a lot. So already I can tell you, like, there's something at 2 p.m. where she's free and able to talk to you. So that's what I'm noticing there. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the more important things, right? So when she asks you, hey papi, ¿cómo estás? The answer to this is very scripted. It has nothing to do with the question itself, and it goes into the normal text game, hey, pay $7 and learn all this cool stuff. So like you're running the texter, the guy here is running a script that has nothing to do with the question or the girl herself, and it's the usual answer of basically, you seem wild, how crazy and adventurous are you, right? Like I know a lot of this stuff works, but it really doesn't, especially from guys who don't understand where it's coming from or how to create these things themselves. So the next thing here is a double text, which, you know, like at this point, let that 2 o'clock come back around the next day and make sure, let her text. But I think the biggest point here is you did answer, I'm at the airport now, which is great, showing that you're busy, showing that you have cool things going on in your life. But I think right here, you seem wild, how crazy and adventurous are you, might have been a little bit of a turnoff, coming on too strong, and so on. So you seem kind of crazy, basically doubling down on that same motto of you're wild, you're crazy, but are you adventurous, question mark. So finally, the next day, so this is like 2 days after she initially answered, she gives you a yes. So noticing this yes does not answer your question, right? If you say, but how crazy and adventurous are you? And then someone responds yes. Yes to which one, right? This is on her, like yes to which one. So really, she's not investing here. She's not qualifying. Right here, I would have gone with something very simple. I'm at the airport right now, on my way to, you can qualify a little bit so that she can know, like it's good to qualify when you're hitting them with status, right? I'm at the airport on my way to Bali, on my way to California, or something, like wherever you're going, it's okay to qualify, because if she's stuck at work, I don't care if you're going to like traveling to like New York, Atlanta, like wherever you're going, it's still a bit more status than her being stuck at work. Okay, so right here, I would have gone very basic, very simple. At the airport, on my way to X, wherever you are going, how about yourself? Give her the opportunity to start qualifying, basically training her and giving her the chance to qualify to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. At this point, after the yes, if we went for a walk on the beach, what are 3 things we would do? Again, this goes very, like there's a script going on here that has nothing to do with her, right? An idea I want to share here with you is, if you talk to your friend or someone, a parent, a family member all the time, and then they start texting you in a strange way as if it's someone else, you can tell, right? It's a little bit of that going on here, where it's a script that has nothing to do with her, which means basically like she can't be engaged in this, because for her it's like, what's going on? Like, I don't get this. I simply asked a question and now we're down this path of crazy and adventurous, right? So looking at this here, I would tie it back to the airport, to where you're going, to what you're doing. Again, getting her to qualify. So basically, what are 3 things we would do? She answered, talk to you. And again, it's the next day around 2, right? So something about this 2, oh, this is 2 a.m., sorry. Wait, 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 p.m. Something about 2 o'clock with this one. So yeah, so she didn't give you 3 things. She gave you 1, and then you go in, qualify quite a bit here, or just, come on, I know you're more creative than that. Almost punishing compliance here, almost, not really, because she only did give you one. It's a little bit into the, like you can break rapport or you can insult someone. It's almost into that insulting boundaries, I would feel like. What other two things? Yeah, so this is very like aggressive. Let's call it aggressive for lack of better words here. Really quickly, really like early on. So you want to follow the stages, right? You want to open, build a little bit of comfort so that then you can do the whole attraction deal, right? So right here, we're going into breaking rapport. We're going into all these like talks of like attraction before you have a connection, before you're showing your value beforehand. So that's what I want to leave off with you here. The place where it really went south is not at the airport now, but you seem wild. And another question here is, if she's talking in Spanish, the question is that the only language she speaks? Right? That's another thing to note here. And also pay attention to the timing, like what's the deal with the next day at 2 p.m. or 2 o'clock all the time? So these are things that I would recommend you to do. I know you have a script because possibly you don't know what to say, how to keep the conversation going. Do realize that if someone likes you, kind of like her, the first one, she opened you, right? Showing interest. The second one, she reopened you, showing again some interest. So this is where guys need to calm down a little bit. If a woman likes you, if a girl likes you, she's gonna give you the signs. She's gonna give you opportunities to get together or whatever the case is that you're trying to do. So this is where I would tell my students who know very well how to do this, calm down, ease up, give her the opportunity to chase you, run through the communication pattern that I give you guys, which is very simple to follow to create interest and get her to want more from you. Okay, so this is all I'll leave you off with. So just to recap here, the biggest things that I'm seeing here is not you shouldn't be frustrated because it's coming from a lack of understanding, maybe, if I could use those words, a lack of understanding of the complexities of what's happening here, of the communications. But overall, there was also a whole pattern or there's a script happening on the side here that she was not involved in. And that was kind of like maybe a turn off for lack of better words. And I would want to figure out, like, does she only speak Spanish? Like, what's up with the Spanish, right? Because it's really well, like when she says "Cómo estás," there's like an accent over the A, which I speak Spanish fluently and I hate those fucking things, right? I hate those I hate them. I understand them, but I don't do them, which means she probably really only speaks Spanish, which more complex English language might get her shy, timid, and other things like that. So that's all for now. I'll leave you off with that. For more questions, please feel free, hit me up. I love doing these, so I'll check you out in the next one.